and welcome to part 2 of New Retro. Is that what we're going to call this episode?
In part 1, we were talking all about the PS3, the Wii, the 360, and, you know, we were just discussing how, like, essentially the Nintendo 64 in 2006 was 20 years old, and the 360 next year will be 20 years old, and, you know, it's hard to argue that they're not retro at this point. But then we started going into feeling. We were talking about how retro nostalgia is a feeling. You know, you don't gatekeep it. It is what it is for you, and if it doesn't feel nostalgic for you, that's okay too.
Yeah.
But we started talking about the games then, and it got a lot more confusing.
It did.
I think we all agreed that the consoles were retro when they launched, at least. Maybe not the end of their life cycle, but at the beginning. But the games elicit different feelings.
They definitely
We just went through the selection of Wii ones in part 1, and I think we can get into some PS3 and 360 classics now and see what we feel if they're retro or not.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because, like, I'm looking at a list of PS3 games here, right?
Cool, because I have a 360 list, so we can
very good,
compare and
very
contrast.
good, right? Geez, we worked that out well, didn't we?
We did. It was telepathic.
There's some games here that I'm looking at and I'm looking at the years, right? Because I'm going to ask you, I'm going to turn the tables and ask you, do you find some of these games retro?
Yeah, ask me the year. It would be fun to ask each other the year as well, if we can guess what year it came out in.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm going to ask you...
Because just very quickly, do you have did you just type in best PS3 games or something?
That's literally what I have on my screen.
So I have best 360 games. You have a list as the year underneath them. Exact same thing as
that's
I have.
Funny that's literally the 3 words that I
That's how stupid we are.
But I'm going to ask you, obviously, these are ones that I've played, so
Let's do every second one.
Well, first one on the list, I don't know if you have much experience with this series, but Metal Gear Solid 4.
Metal Gear Solid 4 still looks so new. Like, graphically, you know... Like, that, when did that come out? 2007? Like a year after it launched, maybe?
2008.
2008, 2 years after it launched, yeah. I mean, look, yes, technically. If someone argued it, I wouldn't hold it against them. But does it feel retro to me? It doesn't. It's graphically too impressive. There's something about it that to this day looks like it could be on a PS4. Do you know what I mean? It's very impressive looking. What about you?
It doesn't feel retro to me. But
you have no experience with it?
No, I do. I've played every Metal Gear Solid game.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you finished it?
Yes, I have. I've
That's
absolutely loved it.
shocking.
I've played like some of them several times actually.
Did you get the collection that came out recently?
I didn't actually know, but my friend Steve got it, and I'm gonna borrow it off him. He's playing it at the moment, but yeah, I'm definitely going to play through it because I do have a hankering to play through it. It's real funny. What got me back into Metal Gear is when we were at Gamerfest. I don't know if you remember Emer Noon, the composer and conductor, was being interviewed, and she was telling a funny story about how she didn't realise she was on the credits for the original Metal Gear Solid until her brother played through the game, and then like took a picture and sent it to her, and she was like, "What the fuck?" And ever since then, I've kind of I was like, that's pretty funny because I played that game, and I really want to go back and play it again, because I really enjoyed it. Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3 and 4. 5 I was a bit like I don't know, and I do really want to play there's one in the GameCube now. It's pretty pricey. It's called Twin Snakes. I'm fairly sure it's like a remake of the first one.
It's the second one, I think.
Is it? Yeah, but it's like
I think so.
It's like over €100. It's a fairly pricey game.
GameCube games are just silly expensive.
Well, yeah, true.
In general, they are, like, compared to PS2 and Xbox, they're at least like 50% more on average.
Yeah,
do you know?
Absolutely. But Metal Gear Solid 4 doesn't seem retro. 1, 2 and 3 100% do.
I mean, Metal Gear Solid 5 also came out on the goddamn Xbox 360, didn't it?
That's fucking... I think I have it on the PS4, I think, but
yeah, I think they did both. I think it was one of those cross-gen games, you know what I mean, that looked better on a thing. But all right, I have one for you. I have a good one for you here on the 360 list. 360, it was also on the PlayStation 3, but you know, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you to guess the year as well.
Okay.
Now this is a hard one.
Okay.
This is, I don't know why, but I'm hoping you've played it. BioShock.
I've never played it, man.
Oh my god, what's wrong with you?
I know. I feel like this is one of my gamer guilts, is the fact that I've never played this series, and I believe it's absolutely incredible.
I've only played the first one,
right?
So don't worry, I haven't played the other two.
But
the first one is worth it,
regardless of whether I've played it or not. It totally feels like a retro game to me. From like, I'm aware of it, and it's always been in the the zeitgeist of 2000s and this era of games.
Sure.
And I feel like, to me, it feels retro. What about you?
It made me fall in love with the song. There was an amazing ad for it, somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me.
Yeah.
My lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing. Anyway, what's the year?
I have it here right in front of me. It's 2007.
Sure for a fuck. So I have to pick Xbox exclusive games for you to be able to get this right, because you have a list as well. BioShock, does it feel retro? Jesus, it feels nostalgic. But also being 14 feels like yesterday. That's the problem I'm having with this.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, I'm still 14 in my head, so I think that's people's trouble with retro too. They haven't realised they've become old farts,
There's of a funny one here, right? On the PS3, because to me there's no question of its retroness, and it's
okay, hit me.
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain.
Yeah, have you played that game? The game
Jason! Jason! The one with Jason!
The one where there's like 50 different endings or something like that, and you kind of have
Jason! Have you played it?
I have, yeah, and I've
Have
completed.
you seen the video of? There's a scene where you're chasing like the suspected killer who killed your son. That's the opening, by the way, no spoilers. And there's a scene where you're chasing him through like a supermarket, and if you fail everything, it's like the funniest scene in video games. Because that game's like quick time events. You press circle, he jumps over something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Detroit Become Human. It's all that stuff. God, if someone's told me it was retro, I wouldn't disagree with them, but it doesn't feel retro to me.
Do you know why it feels retro to me? Is I remember the Nokia phone that I had at the time when because I know it sounds weird. I remember talking to a guy, Tony, that I used to work with, and I remember getting a lend of it off him, and I think I texted him on my phone, asked him for a lend of Heavy Rain, and it was on like an old, like a pre-smartphone phone, which I think is kind of funny. But to me,
what year was it though?
2000.
It was 2008?
2010.
2010. Wow, yeah, that is a bit later. Okay, so by that logic, then, if we're going by that year, is the first Red Dead Redemption retro?
Yeah, like that seems totally retro to me. Oh, sorry.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no,
I'm in agreement, right?
Yes.
I'm in agreement that, like, we both said, like, dude, the consoles are 20 years old. Obviously, the life cycle makes it more confusing. We're all in agreement that these could all be argued as retro without a shadow of doubt. We're just at the point of, do they feel? You know what I mean? Subjectively, because that came out the same year as Heavy Rain.
Yeah, did, 2010. So it's funny because like I like how much this is getting my brain working for once. Somewhat. It's a bit of a kickstart. But it's really making me think, because like my opinions are literally changing on the fly, because like at the start I was like, all these consoles are definitely retro, and now I'm like 2010.
It depends when the game came out in the life cycle, because they were around for a good 6-7 years. You know what I mean? It changes things, and 6 and 7 years, depending on your ages, could be huge. Like for instance,
right,
Heavy Rain feels retro, right? A year later, Minecraft was on console. Does Minecraft feel retro? I mean, it looks retro from day one.
No, it doesn't. It
I guess because
it does look retro, but
it's. I think I know why for that one, though. I have a good answer for that.
Go on.
It's a live service game.
What does that mean?
So it's not a live service game. Is a game that comes out and is constantly supported. So there's no Minecraft 2. It's like Fortnite. It's like live service means
Minecraft
that like
2. It's the same game. It just evolves.
Yeah. So like it basically it relies on the internet to live. So if the internet's gone, Minecraft will have its own little world, but that's it.
Yeah.
So like like Fortnite's a live service game. It's not a game that comes out and is complete. It's a game that comes out and is just. It's kind of like No Man's Sky in a way, or something, or oh god, I'm trying to give like any example of a live service game. Do you know what I mean? What all the kids play these days?
World of Warcraft. You know what I mean? Is that a live?
Like Apex is a live service game.
Right. League of Legends.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, even though I don't know if that's still like currently active. What's the story?
That was the most. I feel like that was the most
grandpa moment of all time.
The most old man thing I've ever said.
Yeah.
Just somebody who plays League of Legends isn't this going, you fucking old fart? Would you ever shut up?
Do you know what I mean? Like a live service game is a game that like is constantly living and breathing. It's not just finished like a book and comes out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's not just a story that's done. Like, you know, they don't ship it being like, we finished it. They ship it being like, this is going to be around for 15 years. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it to you other than that, you old man.
I have another game here, right, that feels retro to me, because I remember the day buying it in Extravision, and for people outside of Ireland, Extravision was Ireland's answer to Blockbuster Videos. So
Which is coming back apparently.
I've seen the videos online, but I believe it's I don't think so. Basically, a guy has bought, from what I've heard, a guy has bought the Extravision like name or something, but I think he's trying to open like not an internet cafe, but like an online gaming cafe center thing or something like that, like an esports thing, which is pretty cool. Which is pretty cool.
Still
like,
cool, but it's not like what we want.
It's not a rental store, but he's trying to do something for gaming in Ireland, which I will.
Well, I'm excited for that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that would be cool.
Cool.
Like, I mean, I won't judge it before I see it, but you know, also Extravision person, if you're listening, could you also please, just for the fun, it will cost you nothing to get in loads of old DVDs, just to make a section where, and you know what? Just as like an addition, hear me out, okay? This is my pitch. That people come and give a DVD and take a DVD. Just like they do with bookstores around the places. You know, there's loads of places in supermarkets.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a feeling of renting something. Do you know what I mean? Because DVDs cost literally nothing to no one, that people will give you 1,000 for free. Do you know what I mean? So that would be a fun, you know, nostalgic trip that would cost nothing. And maybe you need a membership card just to prove that you're okay. You know, maybe you pay a tenner for a card and you can take them and put them back as you please.
Like, you get a membership card for a Extravision style membership card for press any button to continue when you sign up to our Patreon at patreon.com/press any button to continue.
There he goes, boy. There he goes.
Was that a segue? Was that a fucking segue or what? Huh? Fucking. Also, I said this to you earlier, Keith, but I'm convinced that I have landed on the perfect name for our bonus podcast that we're doing, our post-show podcast, is bonus features, man. How retro was that? Bonus features, man. It's perfect.
And I didn't Gar mention it's like bone us? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Bone us. You know what I mean? Take us outside. Give us a 2-for-1.
I think it's such a good name. So basically, what we do is, with this season, we have obviously the main show that we're doing every week now. Then afterwards we have what's called the post-show podcast. So you're getting all the main content in the main show, but afterwards we just kind of unwind, talk about, you know, what we think of the episode, what we're playing that week, bits and bobs, shoot the shit. But that's bonus features. It's, you've bought the DVD, right, or you've watched the DVD, that's fine. Do you want to watch one little something extra? You want some bonus features. That's what I think.
You want to watch something extra where the real fun begins. Some say it's better than the actual podcast. So, you know, go check it out.
But a game to me that I remember buying in Extravision, a video shop, was Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Well, I was going to ask you, is Oblivion retro was going to be my next one. That feels very retro.
To me, yeah, definitely it is. Definitely. But Skyrim, right? Because I've told the story about how I initially had planned on getting Skyrim. I was going into college, doing a full day of college.
Now, Skyrim is 2011, let's keep in mind. Like
2011.
11, which is still like 12 years ago, don't get me wrong.
Look on the, I don't know about on your page, man, but on the top left-hand side of my page, what game came out in 2013?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Grand Theft Auto 5, man. And that's still being played today. Like, that's still a relevant game right now.
Oh, it's still the #1 streamed game, I think.
Yeah, it's fucking
that's because it has evolved through the online features where people just role play it now.
Right.
So people don't play the game, they use the online world.
Okay.
And it's like a massive multiplayer online game where everyone is like, has their roles, and it's like Dungeons and Dragons in Grand Theft Auto a little bit. And you all have to like pretend to be these characters or else you get banned from the servers. You have to commit to acting, you know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pretty
So
cool.
like, you know, there's a policeman, and if you do crimes, you'll be arrested or else you get banned from the server forever. Like, it's about living like a pretend life in the world of Grand Theft Auto with real people, real voices, you know?
Right, yeah. But it's funny, so I have TU does.
It's so funny. There's sometimes when I tell you something that's like that, like I try and explain what this thing is, and you sound like a dad who goes, "That's very good, yeah, right."
Well, I am a
You're
dad.
like, that's lovely. That's lovely. I don't know what you're talking about, but that sounds lovely. Anyway.
I'm sorry. That's just me being old, man.
No, I know. I'm just, it's beautiful. You know what I mean?
Anyway, Grand Theft Auto 5 and Elder Scrolls 5. 2 years in the difference. One of them was retro. One of them was still played today.
Mario Kart fucking 8 came out the same year as Grand Theft Auto 5, and both of them
I was only playing it yesterday on the fucking
both of them have
Switch.
not got a sequel to their game in 10 years, 11 years.
Like
Soon to be 12 years. There's something wrong in the gaming market now. There is something wrong.
What? Like, why haven't they? Fair enough, right? Grand Theft Auto 6, I can understand what Rockstar are trying to do here. It's gonna be
they're revolutionizing.
groundbreaking.
But this is also a problem, I think, because it's like, I was talking today listen to me just for 1 second. Sorry, now I did a GTA 4 video today,
right.
and I was saying between the years 2006 and 2011, there was Bully. There was Grand Theft Auto 4, there was Lost to the Damned and Ballad of Gay Tony for the GTA 4 expansions. There was these Rockstar racing games, like LA something or other. There was Red Dead Redemption. There was Undead Nightmare. There was... God, what else did we get during the Rockstar period for those times? Oh yeah, we got Liberty City Stories and we got Vice City Stories. That's 5 GTA campaigns, 2 Red Dead campaigns, a new like IP altogether with Bully, all in the space of 5 years. Like, very clearly Rockstar were at their peak here. We haven't had one outside Red Dead 2 in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And obviously what's happening is, like, there's this money and investment that goes into something, and it needs to be the best of the best. And I feel like all the creativity is going to be taken away. They don't have an option now. They're too big now. They don't have an option anymore of like releasing a song that they like and they don't know if it's a commercial hit. Now the producers and their record labels, like, this has to be a hit or you're going down the Swanee. We put all our money into this. You're not allowed any. Now this is my own imagination of what's happening in an industry that I know nothing about behind the scenes. But, you know, I was complaining that we still need handhelds so they can release games like GTA 4, the Ballad of Keith and Nisha expansion on a, you know, something that doesn't cost them that much money to do because they're used to the hardware. You know, they can work like Nintendo does or something. I don't know. That was just a rant, okay? Just deal with it.
But I think you're right. Like, it has to succeed, right? There's no question there. It's not like putting out all the Ballad of Gay Tony, Vice City Stories, Liberty City Stories, whatever it was. These are all games that they have an engine. They've made money with the main titles. They might work, they might not work. But like Grand Theft Auto 6 has to work. Now, I think it doesn't.
It will.
It doesn't matter. That game is gonna probably be the most pre-sold or pre-booked game in video game history.
It will make
I'd
history
imagine.
without a shadow of a doubt.
But
it's going to be the most expensive game ever made, and it's going to be the most profitable game ever made. Probably.
I'd imagine too as well. And again, I can see what they're trying to do. Like, you know, I can imagine what they're trying to do with that game. Yeah, they're trying to make that and totally like the most out there video game of all time. But with Mario Kart 8, man. Like, fucking Mario Kart, man. Like, and I love Mario Kart, and I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
But I'm so bored of Mario Kart 8. I'm so bored of it, though.
But, like, what the fuck? Like, where is Mario Kart 9 and 10? Like, what the fuck?
Well, there's a very simple Nintendo answer for that, and that's money.
Right.
That game is still... Same with GTA. This is also a weird problem, is like consumers were half of the problem. Like, you know, we buy what we buy and they go off that, right?
Yeah.
So, like, Mario Kart 8 is still in the top of the charts selling.
Yeah.
And it's been around for 10 years. GTA is still in the top of the charts selling. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how everyone doesn't have the game already. Like, you know, if it's still selling. Like, I'm like,
That's
surely
a
you
good
would have
point.
picked it up sometime in the last 10 years. I don't know who's still buying it. But with Mario, I guess kids... They reach a certain age, they get a Switch.
Yeah.
There's another copy of Mario Kart. So I think for Nintendo, it's money. I am going to be very bold and say that I think Nintendo have been very, like, cash grabby the last 10 years or so, to a detriment of certain creativity. I think the Wii U obviously wasn't a success for them, but I thought they were very creative and they made excellent games. And then they found success with the Switch by just porting, re-releasing. Like the latest cash grab for me is the new Paper Mario GameCube game that they're selling for €60. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why is this €60? Do you know? It upsets me a little bit because, like, I want it, I like it, but I don't know. It feels very. I don't know. Nintendo. I don't know.
I totally get where you're coming from, man, because it is like it does seem to be re-release after re-release after re-release, and it's like it was obviously it was a thing. You know, there would be remakes and stuff. On older generations. Sure, look, there was fucking Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3 in the NES, and then there was Super Mario Bros. All Stars in the Super Nintendo. It's always been there, but to the extremes of it, I totally get what you're saying. Nowadays, it's like everything. Even look at the new Zelda game that was announced there, which I think is really cool. And the fact that you get to play as Zelda as the protagonist, is that the right word?
Yeah.
But it is just Link's Awakening that they remade.
Tears of the Kingdom is just Breath of the Wild 1.5. Well, I mean, I love the game. I'm not taking away.
Me too.
I love the game. We've done a whole episode on it. But like there's so much of that. And you know what's the dirtiest thing of all?
What?
Nintendo are the worst for game preservation out of all of them. So like they clamp down on anyone who uses emulation, you know, the whole lot, right? So like where, you know, Xbox does great game preservation, PlayStation mediocre, but Nintendo, what they're doing is even if you own the game on their wall, they're stopping you from playing it any way they can. They removed the virtual console. All the games you bought on the Wii U and the 3DS, unless you have them downloaded, you can never get them back. They've taken them all away from you.
Oh, yeah.
And now what they're doing instead is charging you full price for them again.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's scummy. Do you know?
Yeah, it's
like it is.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, and it's an awful shame. It's like what you've always said about competition is always a good thing. When someone has a monopoly on a certain, like not that they have a monopoly on a certain market, but they have
they're in their own lane though.
They are sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, they're totally in their own lane, man. That like totally, and they're the family friendly, fun console. You know what I mean? They're a console that everyone goes that can appeal to everybody, and it's just a shame when they do stuff like that. Now that being said, I am a Nintendo cook, and I'm gonna buy all these remakes and shit. I'm part of the problem.
But like we all are part of the problem, and like the latest thing with the NES Championship pack that everyone's trying to get their hands on is already scalping, you know, and the whole thing.
I can't wait.
Did you get your hands on? Did you pre-book one? Yeah.
Yes, and you have a pre-book as well.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I think
I like the way it's like, yeah, we're complaining about it. We're also part of the system, baby. We're fucking you,
and
baby.
I think it's actually going to make for really fun.
I was like, wait, do I have one? Oh, thank God.
Yeah. I think it's really fun, man, because I think it's going to be really fun. We're such hypocritical.
I love it, man.
Fuck it. But
we're angry because we're sucked into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we should kind of round things down a little bit, right? And I think that the nice way to round things down is to pick our favourite game from each console, be it the Wii, the 360 and the PS3.
Perfect. I think that's an excellent idea. Very first, quickly, I will give people an out about this whole conversation as the 7th Gen Retro. Let's just all agree that the first iterations of the console are retro. The Fat Boy Chrome PS3, the original Red Ring 360, and the first model of the Wii. Maybe when you get to the revised Slims, you can say maybe they're still teetering away as revised, newer versions that maybe aren't retro in that generation of games. But I think we can all agree the launch models are more or less retro. So if you don't think so, comment lots down below and tell us how much of a shithead we are. And
come over to our Discord and have a conversation. Let's have a fun conversation. The link to our Discord will be in the show notes and to all our social media. So I think I'm actually really excited to get people's response to this, because I don't know, people could be like, "Yous are full of fucking shit." Well, they say that anyway, but they could.
I hope they are, because I'm looking for a fight.
I want
to go on Twitter and be toxic and ruin my life.
Right, the Nintendo Wii.
These have to be exclusives, by the way, so no multi-platform games, okay?
What?
No multi-platform games.
Fuck off.
In other words,
no.
It can't be Red Dead Redemption 1. Yes, they have to be exclusive.
For fuck's sake. Right.
Well, there's no fuck's sake.
Right.
Get it done now.
Right. Whoa. What? The Nintendo Wii. What was your favourite game?
Super Mario Galaxy.
Was it, yeah?
The first one.
Mine is, now I you might tell me this answer is wrong here, but because I don't understand the cross-play, is Twilight Princess? Is that okay?
No, you're okay with that. What I mean
it's
is like
BioShock
is on the BioShock is on. I mean multi-platform on companies. If it's on like a port from an old one to a new one, it's fine.
Right.
Sorry. So Twilight Princess, was it?
Yeah, Twilight Princess and the Wii,
Yeah,
man. Definitely,
that's fair.
definitely.
All right, 360.
360, my favorite PS3 or 360 game, I don't know if it's a hugely well known one, but it's called Lost Odyssey, and it is a Square Enix game. So Square Enix obviously couldn't release Final Fantasies on other consoles, so to get around that, they released Lost Odyssey on the Xbox 360. And I remember buying it in Extravision one day. I went down to Extravision and it was a $5. It was $5. I had bought, do you know what? I had bought Mass Effect something 1, 2, or 3. I don't remember. Wasn't digging it. Brought it back and was like just looking, and I saw this Lost Odyssey, and I like the box. I bought it purely on the box, and I fucking adored that game. I will give an honourable mention. It's probably multi-platform, but I don't care. To Lego Indiana Jones.
I just looked it up for you.
No, Lost Odyssey. I know.
First of all, Lost Odyssey is only on the Xbox 360, which makes me want it so much more all of a sudden.
I'm telling you, man, it's a fucking really, really, like, feels to me from my memory of it like a Final Fantasy X. What really fucking good game.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But with an honourable mention of Lego Indiana Jones, I have to say.
That's cross-platform, so you can have it. No, I won't give it to you.
Stricken.
This lies, scandal, cheats. You know, there has to be some bar around this podcast, Nisha, of fucking not depriving ourselves into complete depravity of absolute idiocracy, okay?
Too late.
That was done when our first episode we said cock, wee.
Xbox 360, what's your favourite?
Oh, that's fucking so hard. Let me have a look here. I'm stuck between a few. I guess. I suppose Gears of War 1, 2, 1 probably for the multiplayer. I'm very close between that and Halo 3.
Yeah.
But I guess Gears of War. Yeah, I think so. As far as the exclusives go, yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
PlayStation 3. What are we thinking?
See, I don't know. I have 2 games for me on the PS3 that are my favourites.
I'll just scream at you if they're multi-platform, okay?
Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's on the 360 as well, so you're unfortunately can't think that. Yeah,
fairly sure it is. I'm gonna have to see.
I have it on Game Pass.
What's it called? PS3 exclusives, because
I mean, Metal Gear Solid 4 is one.
Yeah, that'd be up there. Also, like I have what's it called?
I mean, there's an obvious one there.
The Last of Us.
There's a few obvious ones, I think, in the Naughty Dog category.
I'm gonna say The Last of Us.
Heavy Rain.
Yeah, Last of Us for me, man.
Betrayal.
It's the only. See, I'll be honest. My favorite PS3 games are Dragon Age Origins and Skyrim, because that's how I experienced those games. You know.
But since I'm being a hard ass on you and making it difficult, but
you're almost on par with Mark the Mill here.
I'm going to be more of a cunt. If you played that on the PS4, I won't give it to you.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Did you play it on the PS3?
Did. Yeah. Did.
All right, I'll allow it this one time.
Thank you. What about you, PS3?
Just to make it different, I would pick The Last of Us, but I'll pick Uncharted 2.
Oh, fucking great game.
Second Uncharted is probably the best outside, well, maybe 5 or 4.
Yeah.
Second Uncharted is like incredible.
Yeah. The Uncharted series, man, is just fucking great. Like, it's just so fun. That's what it is. It's a fucking fun game.
Yeah.
I really like it.
It's a blockbuster fun game that isn't like trying to change your life, but it's just really good at the same time.
It is.
Have you played 4?
Yes, I have. I played them all. Yeah. But what a really fantastic opening. If it's the one I'm thinking of that has you're at the edge of a cliff. I don't want to say too much in case. Yeah.
There's a train.
Yeah. What an opening. But man, that was really fun. I'm really looking forward to hearing and seeing people's reactions to this. Do they consider the 7th Gen Retro? And I really hope people kind of join in the conversation. Let us know over in Discord what you think or on socials, because I think it's a fun thing to do.
It is, and tell us why you're wrong. Okay, just tell us why you're wrong if you disagree, and do your best to explain. And we won't think much of it, but it's you'll do your best.
Thanks everybody for listening to Press Any Button to Continue, episode 40.
I was sassy today.
43. I love that size. 43, episode 43.
Bye.
Ladies